Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk. Back again with another project for you, and this time it's using the great cake builder and piece of cake and cake builder punch. So this has been out of stock, which I know has been frustrating for people, but it has just proved so popular, as you can understand. So this is a gorgeous stamp set that comes with a coordinating punch, and this punch here punches out both the stand and the little cake, and you get this stamp set with lots of lovely sentiments, but also, you know, 6 different cakes, 6 different embellishments that you can do. So this series I'm going to be doing 3 different cards. All of them are fancy folds, but they all fold flat for posting. And what I'm also going to do is show you 3 different ways that you can colour the cakes. So today we're going to be working on using our trusty blender pen and ink pad. You don't have to have a load of supplies, but you can do it with just a single colour. So I've decided to use these lovely bright cheery colours in the In Colour Designer Series paper. So these are just different patterns that come in all of the in colours at the moment. So you can see we've got the lovely pineapple punch, but this is lovely lipstick and grapefruit grove. So I didn't fancy some green and blue cakes. Up to you, you know. But I thought I'd go for some pink cakes, kind of raspberry and chocolate and all those kind of flavours is what I'm looking at. So I'm going to choose again. So the paper I've chosen is this one here, because on the other side are these lovely stripes, and I just felt it was a little bit heavy. I wanted the lightness of a bit of white on there as a bit of contrast. So I'll talk to you. I'm not going to colour all of the cakes in front of you. I've done some of them in advance, but I will just show you the principles of how we do it. So there's our card. Let's get on with it. So the first thing you're going to do is cut your card base. Now I have already cut my card to 10.5 centimetres. Inches are on my blog. Just pop along there as usual, so you see this is 10.5, and I'm going to cut it to 29.5, so it's just a little bit shy of the full length, like so. And then for scoring, I'm going to score first at 14.5. So get my directions out. 19.5, 24.5, so 24.5, and then 27 centimetres. Like so. So I'm going to pop that to one side, and we now need to cut some card for our layers. So I've got a piece of lovely lipstick here, which is already at 10 centimetres. So I'm going to cut, first of all, I'm going to cut my smallest piece. So when you're cutting small pieces, cut those first. So the first piece is actually 2 centimetres wide. I'm just doing that on the right hand side. My next piece of card is 4.5 centimetres. So 4.5, and then my third piece of card is it is 9 centimetres. Okay, so keep this little piece to one side. You'll want that for a little bit of punching shortly. Then we're going to trim our DSP, and we're going to cut this to 9.5 with the direction of the pattern that you want in this orientation. So that's how I want my pattern to be. So I put it in sideways, and again, cut your your smallest piece first. So 1.5 centimetres, one that is 4 centimetres, and then the last piece is 8.5 centimetres. So it just leaves us a little skinny bit there. Okay. So let's pop our layers together, and then we can keep those off to one side. So I've just managed to glue everything together. Okay, that's not a good plan. This is my second attempt at the video today, because I managed to get most of the way through and mess it up. That's all you need to know. But hey, it's nothing like doing a one shot. I could edit it out, but you know what? I think sometimes it's just easier to just start again. It does depend on how well done. And everything was going wrong. I should have stopped really early, actually, because I'd got half my stuff downstairs, and yeah, it wasn't good. Anyway, right, so now we've done our layers for our card. We can pop those to one side, and the next thing I'm going to do is actually do some stamping. So we're going to use our Memento ink, and I'm just going to show you the principles. So I'm just going to show you, all you do is you stamp using Memento ink, nice black ink, and let's go with, my chocolate cake. Okay, so chocolate cake. Let's do that. And then you'll see I'm actually stamping my stands on white card, which I didn't mean to do. I actually need to stamp my stands onto some lovely lipstick card. There we go. So I want a couple of those. So I've done a couple of cakes. The other thing I want is some candles. I probably didn't do that where you could see them. Let's pop some candles in here again. And I haven't left much on that one. I was going to say I've deliberately left a bit of a gap at the bottom there for my candles. And this is where it's about showing you basically how lazy I am. So you're fine to come in on this one, on your lovely lipstick, and just punch those cake stands out of there. But what do you want to do when you do these? As you can see, what would happen is if I pop that in, I'd get an extra cake stand out, which I don't want. So I'm just going to show you, all you do is once you've stamped your cakes, just trim those away. It's just a way of just keeping your wastage down to a minimum. So you can now colour these with your ink. And to the colouring, what we're going to do is, here's our ink pad, and I'm just going to bring it onto a clear block, and that gives me a little puddle of ink to work with. And I've got one of the Stampin' Up! Blender pens here, and these are great. You don't need one for every colour because you can just blend them out. I want my cake to be quite a deep coloured raspberry, so I'm going to pop my raspberry layers in here. So it's like it made me think of a chocolate and raspberry cake. So you just colour like so. And then what I'm now going to do is, using the other end, I've got a bit of early espresso, and because it's the old style pad, I've got a little puddle of ink in the top. So just take some ink and just sort of blend it out, because you don't want it to be too dark that you can't see the cake. So just come in from one side across the other, and if you come in from one side and go across, you'll naturally get some fading. So you get that shading coming across. Now obviously you could treat it like blender pens, and you could do lots of more intricate shading, but I just think keep it nice and simple on these, like so. Okay, so there's our chocolate cake, and I'm going to come in and do the same with my happy birthday cake. So with this, I'm going to already take some colour off, and I'm just going to so just, you can see I'm just keeping that just a layer across. I kind of fancied a really pink cake. There we go. So then you can just come in, and if you go over the sides, it doesn't matter because you're going to punch that out anyway. So you'd repeat that for everything that you were doing. Then you're going to come in and just do your candles, which I've done a really rubbish job on. Let's try these ones here. There we go. So I'm just, and obviously I'm going to come in with a bit of yellow. That's the only downside about doing colouring on camera. So what I'm going to do is actually just, you can see, this is a useful tip to, I'm just going to colour until it becomes totally clear. Then all I need to do is grab, I'm actually going to grab my Daffodil Delight. And there you go, a bit of ink. Because that's now colouring clear, even though the tip looks like it's still pink, it's colouring clear. So I can pick up my yellow, and there's my yellow candles on the top. So now, a couple of things then. So first of all, a couple of my cake stands I want to be shorter. So take one cake stand, just come in with your scissors and just trim away that bit. It's our shorter cake stand, our taller cake stand. You can colour those in if you want. Come in with your punch and punch out the cake and the second cake. With the candles, those don't come with a punch, so what I'm going to do is just cut up like so. I'm just going to do a bit of sort of outline cutting, fuzzy cutting, and down, leaving a little bit at the bottom there. Now, onto our construction, pushing those up out of the way. So here's our card. First thing I'm going to do is reinforce those creases, so burnish those score lines, and you'll end up with a piece that looks like this. Once you fold them in the direction of your crease, you can then just concertina fold. So you have a nice little concertina card on the front here, and then you can just add your layers. So I'm just adding these to the front of my card. Oh dear. Okay. Gluing is not going well this morning. As you probably hear, I'm a little bit husky, so I've actually got a bit of a chest infection at the moment. Haven't been feeling terribly well, but I needed to get on with some projects. So all my stuff is actually, I've been sort of sat on the sofa creating sort of projects to share, and now I'm feeling a bit ropey. Right, so let's take our big stand. I'm just going to use a bit of glue here, a bit of fine tip glue. So I've just noticed that I can't find my other glue. Okay, never mind. So pop my cake stand in first. Then I'm going to add, I've got some of the cakes already done here. So choose which one you want to be your main cake, and you're going to add the candles to the back of it. So I'm kind of creating those sort of dimension layers. So all you're going to do is just put a bit of glue and just then add those to the top of the cake, like so. Then once you've done that, you can go ahead and you can see why, you know, there's no point in having to hand cut that. Much easier to kind of cut out just what you need. So there's my main cake. My second cake, I'm going to just pop up on a little bit of dimensional. So here we've got just some pieces here. So this is, you know me, a bit of a frugal crafter. Let's make sure we use all those little bits. So I'm using my adapted stand with a little bit of dimensional on the back, and that then you can you see, pop that in front. A couple of bits of dimensional here. Let's use all those bits up, then we can pop that one like so, and then let's pop our chocolate cake in front again. So okay, so there we have a nice trio of cakes. We can then come to our happy birthday cake on the front, and I'm just going to glue that flat using a little bit of glue just on that left hand edge. Don't want to come over too far, but what you want to do is for that to overlap. And then the same with our card here. So we want this to be kind of be visible. So again, just a little bit of glue on this edge, like so. All I've got to do is find my other cake, which I have now managed to misplace. Okay, I definitely had more cakes. Yeah, okay. Oh well. Okay, in that case, we just find another cake. Okay, maybe it's more chocolate cake. Here we go. Again, just pop that on the left-hand side. So again, line that up like so. And then all that's left to do is our stamping. And to get that ombre effect, all I've done is repeat stamped. So I've taken my ink pad and I've taken my words, you can see here, which is happy birthday. And all I've done is I've lined it up and stamped full strength, next and third. And you get a nice trio of happy birthdays, which are really wonky because I'm doing it freehand. There we go. Okay, hopefully the recipient won't mind too much. So there we have a pair of fold flat Concertina fold cakes. So when they're on your shelf, you get a lovely cake shop effect like so, and they fold flat for posting. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me again soon, and don't forget to pop along to my shop, heidismith.stampinup.net, to purchase any of these items, and they're back in stock now, so go get them. Thanks for watching. Bye now.